Good afternoon. My name is Kitya Maminami, and my superfood is based on the apple. Apples contain lycopene and fiber, which help for digestion when consuming it. Apples can vary from different flavors, from Granny Smith, which are sour, to Red Delicious, which are sweet. But today we have the NP apple. Apples are usually located from the northeast to the northwest, which are located in Washington, California, and New York. Usually, the typical time they blossom is from spring to summer, which is the right time for them to grow with their natural sunlight and proper water distribution. And today we'll be cooking pumpkin spiced apples. So we have one apple, our core and slicer, and pumpkin spiced. So for pumpkin spiced apples, I thought of it over fall because it's fall themed. So first we'll be cutting and slicing the apples, so coring and slicing them. So I would recommend this because it's easier to cut and get the core out. Make sure we have it lined up. Pull it back out. So the slices don't have to be perfect because sometimes the skin can get caught up with it. We just have to push them out one by one, make sure they're evenly sliced. And the core is easy to remove. So the core is removed. Should we dry our hands off first? And before we have them on the pan right here, a little oven tray. Okay, since we have our apples sliced, we're going to line them up on the oven tray right here. So that way we can evenly distribute them. So we have 8 slices, and it'll be your option to keep the skin on or if you like to peel it. But I like to keep the skin on so that way it can have a better grip and stay level. Then we have our pumpkin spice, which contains cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and allspice. So we'll sprinkle our pumpkin spice down the apples. Make sure they're evenly coated. Make sure it's level. So let's make sure we have everything coated, even the sides. So if we have leftover pumpkin spice on the oven pan, then you could dip them on the side. Make sure they stick. Make sure all the sides are coated. Make sure they're evenly coated. Again, these apples and this apple's are already pre-washed and cut. And we're going to put our apples in the toaster oven for 325 for 5 minutes. And after that, we have to let it rest for 5 to 6 minutes, though that way they could be tender and cool. Make sure everything's all settled down. So here we go. So we'll set it to 325, then we'll put it for 5 minutes. Alright, the first time I tried it, I did it for 4 minutes at 325. And therefore we have to make sure everything is caramelized and glazed. Okay, now the apples are done in the oven, then we'll let it rest for 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, now we let the apples rested, so we're gonna taste it and try it. It's pretty interesting with the nutmeg and the pumpkin spice seasoning. Feels like you're biting into an apple pie or having a cup of apple cider, but it's pretty good. And for this recipe, I kind of thought of it on my own because I was thinking what combinations to use or what different seasonings to use and what type of apple to use. And it's simple to make. So all you need is just 2 to 3 ingredients. All you need is just how many apples you need and the pumpkin spice seasoning, and just put it in the toaster oven for 5 minutes on 325 and let it rest for 7 minutes. And what I think about this recipe, it's pretty simple and it tastes like fall. In my opinion, it's pretty good. And simple to make, and all you need is just 2 to 3 ingredients and just bake it in the toaster oven. My recipe supports energy balance because it's just simple and it helps with digestion and fiber. And my reflection on this assignment is that it's pretty interesting with the superfood of what to make, and I guess the hard part was trying to figure out what combination to use, like to see what theme it will be with, like since it'll be fall or winter. And I feel pretty good about the Bio 5 experience because I learned a lot in this class, and with all the info and different methods on how to use and moderation on what it takes to have what it takes. And that'll be the end of the video.